I'm Sue Boo, bringing crafting to you, and today we're going to make a card that we can use up our scraps on. So we can make an easel card like this. I've used the sheep and the sheep dies. Is it called, what's it called? Counting sheep, sorry. So it's the Counting Sheep set I've used on this one, and the iconic dies, and I've scrap busted, so it's folds flat, so it's quite a good one for posting. If you don't, on this one I've chosen to put some gems. If you don't put your gems, you might get away with posting that just normal flat mail. In fact, it might just still go like that. This is obviously the sheep dies, and the sheep Counting Sheep are coming out in the celebration that's coming, starting for people to be able to buy on the 3rd of August. So if you spend £45, you can get a number of things free from the celebration catalogue. You can choose from. If you spend £90, obviously you can get 2 things free, or there is some that you need. Just £90. I can't show you the booklet. I made a mistake. I did a similar video to this, made a mistake. I showed the catalogue, so that one will not be aired now. It will go on my YouTube channel on the 3rd of August, but I wanted to show this one because it's easy to do, very easy card to make, and it's absolutely fantastic for scrap busting. So without further ado, let's get on and do. So you need my normal standard card base, which is 8 1/4 scored down your middle at 4 1/8 by 5 7/8, and all you simply do is fold and crease that, and then just pop it in your trimmer at 1 1/2 and take your blade only as far as your score line. So you bring it down only as far as the score line. You can turn it around then and place it at the bottom and get it in at 1 1/2. Get your blade down to the bottom, and then you're going to bring that up only as far as your score line. Okay, you are then going to just move your cutting blade out of the way and fold these out of the way, and pop your long extended bit in again at 1 1/2. So just pop it like that, and then you just bring your scouring blade across. We're then going to fold this and burnish it. Okay, so we will I'll bring in the card that we're going to use. So let's just pop this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to give these sides a good crease down, and then just go through all of your sides of your card and just make sure that you've got rid of any burr edges. So I'm just going to go through and just crease down those and just get rid of any burrs that's going off. Move that out of the way. Going to put those down either side, move those out of the way, and then I'm going to go for doing those out of the way. So we're going to fold this back on itself, so flatten that out and make sure that they are equal, and then just give that a good burnish as well, so that keeps it nice and flat. Okay, so all we do is we're just going to glue down these 2 end bits. So we're going to bring this down. So I'm using Calypso Coral today. I don't usually work with this colour, so I thought it'd be quite nice for a change. This belongs to the Subtles. I do like the subtle colours. That's what I like about Stampin' Up. They everything matches, so you can use other subtle colours and they will go together nicely. So in this DSP we've got Shaded Spruce, I think it's Soft Sea Phone at the back, and Mango Melody, and of course you've got the Calypso Coral. So this is great for scrap busting because these are 1.5 inches wide. Now it doesn't matter, the ideal size that I would choose is 1 3/8, but it doesn't matter if you've got a bigger gap like I have done with this one. I've made a bigger gap there to use these scraps of DSP up, so it still works. So you're just going to go on whatever scraps you've got. So this does happen to be 1 1/4. I would have liked my original card that I did was 1/8, and I'm just going to take this because I want it to be equal down the sides. I'm going to take the DSP all the way to the back. So it's a great way to use up old DSP that you've got kicking around. This is, I think it was called Garden Expressions, really pretty paper. And I just want to get rid of all these scraps that I've got lying about. So I thought I'd do a scrap busting video. So we're gonna do this. Get rid of that one. So the ideal size, but as I say, it all depends on your scrap size. The ideal size would be 4 inches in length by 1 3/8. That would be the ideal size. This one happens to be 1 1/4 by 4. So I'd got the length as what I'd use, but not got the width. So I've compensated by taking it all the way to the back. I could have taken a little bit off, but I thought, no, I'm going to leave it like that. Now, what I've also cut out, so we'll move the, oh no, so I hadn't got this size here. I would have preferred that to have been bigger. So this should be 1 inch in width, and you want it to be 1, and I'll just check in my book about that proper size. Let me just check. Have I put? There we go. So the front stopper, it needs to be 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. No, I'm wrong. Where am I? Supplement centimetre card. No. Where have I put it? I'll get there eventually. So did I do 2? It looks as though it's 2 3/8. Let's have a look. Does that look about right? No, that doesn't look right. I'll get my ruler and I'll measure that for you. Sorry about that. If in doubt, get your ruler out. Okay, so it should be 2 7/8. I think that was on there, wasn't it? And I've now done this by 1 1/4. So I've done it bigger than my original. My original ones, let me find a good one. My original ones are 1 inch. That's it. So the reason I have done this bigger is because this piece that I'd got, this scrap, is not big enough. So I've made my card bigger so that it will be even all the way round. So what I've done is I have made the card 2 7/8, but I've made it 1 1/4 wide to compensate, because this is 1 inch by 2 1/2, and I really needed that a lot bigger. So as I say, the original size should be for the DSP, it should be 2 7/8 by 1 inch. And then you can do your sentiment any sort of size within this. If you wanted the ideal size, it's 2 3/8 and 3/4. But again, I have changed that, so I will tell you what I have done. So there is another video coming out with the precise ones, but it will not be out until the 3rd. I can upload it on the 3rd of August, but not before, because I begun to show the catalogue and realised, so stopped the upload, because I realised my mistake, because we don't show that catalogue until it goes live. So I stopped and can't upload that until it becomes live, which will be the 3rd of August. So this is shaded spruce in the background, so I'm using shaded spruce as my stopper. So I'm going to flatten that down. There we go. Okay, so we'll leave that for the moment, and then we'll come back to it. So I have cut out this shaded spruce with the ornamental dies. These are fantastic dies. You've got so many different sizes. I have used the second from the largest rectangle, fatter rectangle, because there is narrow rectangle, so that's the fatter one. It's really pretty. So I wanted to use it, and this is perfect. And inside, I didn't on this, so if you've not got this die, you could cut a rectangle. So if you wanted it the same size as this, you could cut a rectangle 4 5/8 by 3 3/4. So you could just cut yourself a plain rectangle. Again, I was just using scraps up, so I just got a rectangle that was 3 inches by 4 inches. So I just got that piece. I rounded the corners and used our trio punch to punch out each of the corners with the pretty thing there. And then the label I've used from the not ornate, the Tasteful Touches ones. So I just used this one in there to put in the middle to make it nice. And all I did on this one is I used Seaside Spray to just give the sky, and I used the shaded spruce very faintly on the bottom, and stamped some of the grass and put my sheep and put my fence on, and then used the ornamental dies to cut all these out. And this flower here, this one is a punch now that has retired, but I've only got one of the flowers there, so that's how that one is. So this centre bit here that we're going to place, I've already cut out. This is from the rectangle dies, so it is the Stitch Rectangle dies, and this one is the 4th die up. Will just fit perfectly in there, so I've used that one from there. And over time, you see, you build up your stash. So if you're just setting off, you could just do a card that size that I just gave you, 4 by 3, and then you could cut one that's 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 to put in the middle. If you wanted to do this size, I told you what that measures, and this is 3.5 by 2 1/4. Now that just fits perfectly in there, so I'm going to glue this on. As I say, I'm scrap busting, so this is some old DSP, but the beauty of me showing you this is that this is from the Subtle collection that was a while back, and you can still get the Subtles in the now from the new annual catalogue. In fact, I can show you those, so I'm just going to put that in the middle, just make sure that I've got that. I think that looks fairly straight. Okay, I'll just show you the Subtles from the brand new catalogue. So because I just love the Subtles. So equally, let's have a look in this colour. So I'll pull out this colour. So we could have gone with that, which would look nice. We've got that, or we've got that colour, or we could have had that one. So is there just two? Right, so we could have had any of those, which would have looked equally as nice. So I love the Subtle colours. So this is the brand new Subtle selection of DSP. This colours are stunning. I love them. So so you can buy something to actually replicate what I'm doing in the colour scheme and going with. I've just missed a few of my bits to punch out, so I just going over those. I thought I'd got them all out. Okay, so now I've made up some flowers from the actual iconic dies. So the iconic dies, you've got quite a lot in the iconic dies in here that I will use lots of these. I love this fern. I've used that in the past. If you look at my past videos, I did that with the Daisy Lane Punch, because that's beautiful fern. This here is what I've used on the end, so that's the basis of that. Then I've stuck the flowers. These are the flower sizes that I've used from there, so I've stuck those on the top. So there's the fern, and I've cut little bits of it with the backdrop of that, and then I've cut some of these leaves and put them on this flower. So now any of my customers, I'd be very happy to send you this flower here, the back flower. Be very happy to send you that, because it's on this one as well, so my customers could get that as part of their rewards, and thank you. Okay, so it's also got these lovely leaves. You can mount those on top of one another. So I have used quite a few things on there. I think that's a really excellent set, because it's got so many elements in there that you're going to use time and time again. Well, I will anyway. So what I actually did was I cut out, and all these pieces actually come out, and I've glued them back in. So I wanted them back in because I wanted a lovely shaped flower, and then I've put one of those, and then that again is the iconic die. These is a punch that I've got, but any of my customers can request those, and I will send you a load of them. That's no problem. So I've done a couple of those flowers. So what, I've knocked them on the floor, that's why. Getting worried there, where's that gone? Okay, so I've done a couple of those flowers and just layered them up, and I've purely glued each layer on and just lifted it slightly. So I'm going to kind of glue those on there. I've also had an old piece of foil knocking around that I've cut out with the oval punch. Where have I put my, yeah. So the oval punch, I just punched, well, I stamped You're Amazing, which is from the counting sheet. So that's You're Amazing from the counting sheet. So I punched that out in soft sea foam, and I actually stamped it with Calypso Coral, and then the foil that I'd got, so you could put gold foil, silver, whatever colour scheme you're using. So I've just got that for the back. So I'm just gonna put those two together now. So that can go together. And that. Okay, so that's there, those two there, and I've already, again, scrap busting, I've cut out some of these in the DSP that is, again, I think it's from the Subtles, and I've got, it's Granny Apple Green, so you might not have it. I'm going to put that one in the middle. So this you'll recognise as the ombre paper. So I've cut some leaves out of the ombre paper. So just going to put those there. And sorry about that. And then I've got some for the bottom as well. So I'll kind of mirror that in a different way. So I'm going to go the opposite, have the strappy one in the middle and those three on the outside. So I'm going to do something like that. So I'm going to begin by putting a dimensional. Now I'm only going to put a mini dimensional on the back of my flower in the centre. So I'm going to put that so that that will make it easier to do my leaves. Now just bring back in your card, because what you don't want to do is make this with the leaves go over the top of your card. So I'm just going to stick my flower, I'm going to see where I can put that in the middle and just make sure that I can get my flowers come over. That's it. So I think that will work about there. And I'm going to put one at the bottom so I can get this in position. So I'll put another mini on there, and that can go in that corner. I'll just pull it away a bit, and that can tuck over You're Amazing. So I'm not going to just make sure I've got that straight. It does slip when it's on foil. So I'll just pop this straight down. So this is going to go flat, and that's going to tuck between my flowers now. So I'm going to make my flowers come over that. So I'm just going to have a look to see whether I've got that in the centre, top and bottom, and the side and straight as well. So I'm going to have that there. Okay, happy with that. Okay, and now I'm going to just put one dimensional on the edge of my leaf. So I'm going to put it on the back of my leaf, just at the bottom, and I'm going to tuck that in, making sure that I'm not going over. Just be careful that you don't touch your leaf down too quickly. So that'll do fine. And then I'm going to put another one on the front of this. No, sorry, on the back. Put on the back. And that, just put it down again and just have a look where you want your leaf. So I'm going to tuck that one in underneath there like that, and then come back in with another one, put another dimensional on the back. So as I say, doing all this, it's just really great for getting rid of all them scraps. So Make sure that's not sticking out. There we go. So I'm happy with that. And then we'll start from the bottom. So we've got 2 of these. So that's my middle one. So I'm going to put that on the bottom. I'm going to put that, tucking that in. Make sure again it's not going right. Now this one, you've got to be careful with this one. You don't really want your leaves to go over this bottom edge, so you've got to be careful here. So because that becomes your stopper, and you don't want that to be coming out and stopping the stopper. So I've put the dimensional on this one on the top, and I'm going to tuck it in. No, I'm going to bring that in the other way. I think I'm going to tuck it in the other way and make sure that it's not coming over the bottom too much, so that's fine. And then just the last one, I'll put that on the back again, so that's going on the back. There we go, and that can go on the top there, just making sure again that it's not going over the card side. So we'll do that like that. Okay, so that's fine. And then I thought for the inside of the flowers, I've got some epoxy dots, resin dots, so I'm just going to pop that inside the flower there. So they are glitter epoxy dots. You might not be able to pick that up on camera, but it just gives it that little bit of bling. And we'll pop one on this sentiment as well. So pop one on the sentiment there. Okay, so now we can just make sure that this is going to be all right centralized. So we're going to only glue onto this part. Now I'm just going to go back over and smooth this down and only put glue on this part here. So we're just going to put it all on there. That's it. Okay, and then just position this so we're looking at top and bottom and the sides to make sure it's central, plus we want it to be straight. So I'm just going to put that down and see if it wants to come over a little bit and make sure it's straight. So that seems straight. So let's put that against there. Does that seem straight? Seems a little bit wonky. Okay, there we go. So we can put that back, press that down. And then the last thing, I've already printed the happy birthday again. I used on this set, I used the banner tag from the In Good Taste, and I'm just going to put some and I used the happy birthday which one from the Poster to You. There are lots of happy birthdays that would fit on this. I just really love the font on that one, and because it's in my stash I'm going to use it. Okay, so I'm going to see where I want this, and I think actually I'm going to put it near enough at the back of this, so I'm just going to make sure it's level, so it's going to have equal either side. That's just gone a little bit wonky. Can I fetch it up without destroying it? It's because I'm not on top there. I think that's okay, so commit to that down, and then that just tucks under there. like that, and you can push it under a bit as well. That holds it there firm. So that is the finished card. So as I say, that's an ideal way to scrap bust and a pretty card to send. It folds absolutely flat. I think I could get away with just sending that through the normal mail in a normal envelope that it had fit through, so that's another good thing. But it's just a nice fancy fold. I really do like it. And as I say, I did this one with the sheep. So glad it's your birthday. So they're lovely, lovely cards. I was inspired by Julianne Richards. Mine are slightly different to hers, but that's who I was inspired by to do this. So thank you very much for watching. If you're watching from my YouTube channel and see anything that you would like to purchase or take part in celebrations so you can get more free products, then please contact me. You can shop on my shop, which will be in the description link. It will give you a link to go back to my Facebook page, where my business page, where my shop is, to be able to shop with me. And you always get free gifts on top of what you're getting in celebration. You will also be getting free gifts from me as well if you shop with me. Doesn't matter how much you spend, you will always get something. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that you've stopped by and watched, and hope you liked my video. If you're not subscribed, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and press the notification buzzer so you won't miss any further videos that I make. Thank you very much. Bye.